And it's time for the first great British debate of this hour. And I'm asking, should Donald Trump sue the BBC? Now, the US president hit out at the broadcaster as he told GB News that he has an obligation to sue them, warning that this is beyond fake. This is corrupt, he said. But is he right? Should the British taxpayers be funding the BBC? We'll have to pay for that. So for the great British debate this hour, I'm asking, should Donald Trump sue the BBC? Joining me now, Reform UK Councillor Laila Cunningham, and also leader of the Climate Party, Ed Gemmell. Laila, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Listen, Nana, I grew up with the BBC. Like most people, I trusted it, right? It was a place where you went for facts and panorama and great political interviews, but it's not that anymore. And I don't. And when you say should Donald Trump sue him? Well, listen, if he's an aggrieved party and there's a case, then of course you should sue. Why should the BBC be the only institution that can get away and never face consequences? But there's a bigger issue here. When the BBC plays politics, as it is now, it's not just their reputation on the line, it's the British taxpayer who's going to pay for that. And if a lawsuit succeeds, it's not an anonymous corporation, it's us. It's people at home who are struggling with bills, who are facing tax rises, who are going to pay for it. And for me, that puts in question the licence fee, because they're no longer some national broadcaster, they're actually a political operator.
Propaganda. Ed Gemmell.
No, he shouldn't sue them. I mean, the phrase where he says, I'm under an obligation to sue, an obligation to who and why? And my assumption is he's under an obligation to the truth or to get some sort of level of honest broadcasting. Well, if that's his aim, suing them for $1 to $5 billion is not going to make any difference at all. That's not what's going to change it. What's going to change it is actually making sure that the BBC is properly regulated, that we have a royal charter, so, you know, how the government regulates it, it actually regulates it properly. Ofcom is going to do that as well. And actually, maybe the rules and the way that's being done should be changed to make sure that happens. And if I was Donald Trump, I think I'd be trying to take the much higher ground. I'd be trying to make myself look more honourable, you know, more of a statesman rather than as an aggrieved party banging the table. And I'd be saying, look, I want to help the British people. I want to help them get a BBC which is better for them, in a sense, fit for the future, and the purpose, which is actually to be completely impartial and to do what the British people want it to do. And to do that, I don't just want an apology, and I'm not going to sue you, assuming that you come up and show me how that's all going to change. And then I'd like to see what those changes are going to be.
With all due respect, he's not here working for Britain. He couldn't give a crap what the BBC does. That's our responsibility.
For that language.
Yeah, sorry, excuse my language. He's not here for Britain. He was aggrieved.
Clearly.
It was complete. Why should he be? The video was not. It wasn't a mistake. It was doctored to show him as someone that instigated violence on Capitol Hill. That is not a minor mistake. That is changing that is changing narrative. It could even be seen as political interference.
No one's disagreeing with you.
Why should we be legally forced to? So why shouldn't he sue? Why should they get away with it?
Because it can be better.
But it's not about, it's about trust. He's always being blamed for saying fake news, MSM lies about him, mainstream media lies about him, and now he finally has proof, proper proof. And not only that, it's a publicly paid taxpayer. We are forced to fund a broadcaster that doctors videos, pushes its own agenda, and then exposes us to massive liabilities. I'm sorry, why should I pay for that?
Right, Laila, everything you've said about the BBC and the heinous crime, etc., that's been committed, you're absolutely right, and that needs to be changed. But that man, if he wants to set himself up as a statesman...
That man, you mean the President of the USA?
If he wants to set himself up as a statesman, he should be one. And to be a statesman, you need to be able to rise up and actually do it for the purpose and not do it just because you want to get back at people.
What's the purpose? To help a political agenda that's completely against him from one of our closest allies? What's the agenda?
In this case, his purpose, I believe, is to make sure that the BBC is impartial and it does its job properly. Yeah. His case is not to go out there and beat the drum for himself and get a lot of money at our expense. I mean, that $5 billion is our money. So he's actually suing Britain. He's suing us for our money because that BBC is funded by us.
It's not Trump's fault that the BBC is being sued. It is the BBC's fault. Let's get this straight, okay? It's the BBC that doctored a video intentionally twice, aired it on 2 major programmes that are trusted to be a reliable and impartial news. Okay,
why are you saying this? No one's disagreeing with you.
No, but you're saying, oh, they shouldn't be accountable. They shouldn't be sued.
No,
why not? Why is it one law for the BBC? You're not just immune from the law just because you're the BBC. I'm sorry.
No one
one
said
law
they're
for
not
all,
accountable.
and that is the problem. The establishment expect to get away with all of this because it's the BBC. Oh my God, it can get away with whatever it wants. Let's just try and reform it. Let's fire a few people and
No
look back.
No one is saying that at all.
Yes, you are. You're saying you shouldn't sue them.
No, not at all.
Do you think he should be sued?
I think we should be going through the proper process, and the proper process currently in this country is you go to Ofcom then takes it forward.
Ofcom.
There's actually a process.
Again, the establishment, Ofcom. Why can't he go to the proper... Why are you so... Why should Ofcom decide...
Right. He can go to it, but he can be the bigger man by not doing it.
He's not the bigger man, but the BBC
Well, he's not. You're right. He's not the bigger man.
He's not the bigger man. His role is not to be the bigger man.
I totally agree with you.
His role is to protect his reputation. His role is not... His
reputation will go through the roof if he says, I understand the problem.
No, it's not. That means he laid down,
to deal with it
got
in a
kicked in the
proper,
face.
honourable way.
No.
He didn't get kicked in the face. He became the president. There was no kicking.
No.
The kick missed him.
BBC doctored a video on purpose to change political narrative.
Which is wrong.
That could be electoral interference,
It
right?
was
a time, right? But that could be electoral interference, and you're saying he should just lie down and say, you know what, the BBC made a mistake.
No one has suggested that at all.
Yes, you are.
No,
you're saying he should
I'm suggesting he becomes a bigger, better man, and what he does is achieves the aim. He achieves the aim.
And do what?
So what he does is he comes and actually says, correct it, show me how you do it. I don't just want a letter of apology.
I think he did ask for an apology.
Can I now finish as well? I don't want just a letter of apology. What I want is a letter setting out how things are going to be put right so this doesn't happen to anybody else. I have an obligation to protect other people in the future, such as Nigel Farage or the PM, and I want you to do it the right way.
Can I stop you there? Perhaps him attempting to sue them is showing that he means business. And don't interrupt me. That is his obligation, and that's how he believes that it should proceed. That will stop them from ever doing it again, ever. And if it means that they're finished, which would be very sad, then that will teach them a lesson that you don't do that. You don't manipulate things on television in that manner.
Deliberately.
We're not allowed to do that. Neither should they. We would be sued. Would that be okay? If we did it here at GB News to perhaps you or somebody else or a really, really important person like yourself, would you just be happy with us just saying, sorry, we're really sorry that we doctored the clip and made it look really, really bad?
If I had come out and made a statement that I have an obligation to do it because, and he said in his talk with Ben...
we've done other stuff as well that was similar.
And what he said in that thing is he said, I have an obligation because this kind of thing happens to the Prime Minister and to Nigel Farage. So he actually was stating how he's going to protect other people. Then the aim is to protect other people. And if I had stated that my aim was to protect another constituency of people, then I would be doing the best thing I can to do it. And I wouldn't be crashing GB News to do it. So I'd be coming to GB News in these circumstances, the example you suggested, and saying, right, that was wrong, got the apology, but actually I want to know that this is not going to happen in the future to affect other people that come on your station.
What if it destroyed your chances or opportunities of something else?
Right, just remembering that this didn't destroy the opportunities, so you're now shifting the sands a little bit.
Hold on, but let me finish.
Sure.
You don't know that it definitely didn't, because Trump had a lot of opposition, remember, just to the Capitol riots and everything else like that. You don't know how many opinions were shifted from watching that programme. So there is a case that it may well have done. But not only that, that wasn't the only thing that was highlighted in that report. It was also their coverage of trans, and the issues with Israel. So it was a complete report, not just that. So if those level of things had happened and you were part of that, you wouldn't just walk away.
No, I do agree. We're all agreeing it's wrong. So we're starting.
But you're saying because it's the BBC, Trump, who's running America, the leader of the number one country in the world, who's leading, and he should come sit down with the BBC and say, listen, let's hash it out together. Absolutely not.
No, I didn't say that. Don't put words into my mouth.
Yes, you are.
I did not say that at all. In fact, what I said is that
don't say it again.
Please. The BBC doctored a video, and he actually lost that election. Am I right, Nana?
Yes, he did lose that.
The BBC, according to the BBC, is the second most trusted news source in America. If that's not electoral interference, then tell me what is.
All right, well, listen, we'll leave it there.